Police confirm kidnapping of female students from Joseph Sarwan Tarikai Federal University, Makurdi. On the foreign scene, United States and Ukraine reached preliminary agreement on Ukraine's vast mineral resources. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. I am Temitope Ajijololuwaola. The Special Offences Court in Lagos has refused to stop hearing the corruption allegations made against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, Justice Rahman Oshodi, and is ruling on Wednesday dismissed the request for him to recuse himself from the trial, stating that the allegations of bias against him were unsubstantiated. Citing a range of legal authorities, the court held that judicial bias is insufficient to justify disqualification or recusal, adding that it must be personal or based on some judicial reasoning. The judge subsequently held that the application for his recusal lacked merit and he promptly refused it. At the last sitting of the court on Monday, Emefiele, through his lead counsel, Olalekan, had requested that Justice Oshodi step down from the proceedings. The counsel argued that by allowing the prosecution ask a leading question that the defense had previously objected to, the judge had made it impossible for the defense to fairly cross-examine the witness. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned Jude Okoye, the elder brother and former manager of Paul and Peter Okoye of the defunct music group P-Square, on charges of laundering 1.38 billion naira, $1 million, and £34,537. Jude was arraigned alongside his company, Northside Music Limited, before Justice Alexander Uweye of the Federal High Court, Lagos, on a 7-count charge. In view of his plea, the prosecution counsel, Larry Peters, also applied for a date for hearing as well as for the remand of the defendant in the correctional facility pending trial. The defendant's counsel, Inbehe Efion, confirms the court of a pending bail application. He also objected to the request for the defendant to be remanded in the EFCC custody and argued that the EFCC custody was already congested with suspects awaiting arraignment. Justice Uweye, however, adjourned the matter till February 28 for bail hearing and April 14 for trial. He also added that the defendant be remanded in the Ikoyi Correctional Facility. Now to politics. Leaders of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, today converged at the National Secretariat of the party for its National Executive Committee meeting in the nation's capital, Abuja. All roads leading to the venue of the meeting on Blantyre Street have been cordoned off by a combined team of armed security men, including soldiers from the Guards Brigade. Some early arrivals at the venue include all National Working Committee members, Forum of States Chairman, former Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, Governors of Edo, Benue, Ondo, Ekiti, Kaduna, Jigawa, Nasarawa, Yobe, Niger, Lagos, Kogi, Ogun, Imo, Deputy Governor of Ebonyi, and former governors of Kogi, Kabi, Niger, Zamfara, and Plateau were in attendance. Conspicuously absent from the NEC meeting were former President Muhammadu Buhari, former Governor of Kaduna State Nasir El-Rufai, and former Minister of Transport Rotimi Amechi, the leader of the party, President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker Tajuddin Abbas arrived at the meeting. Was represented over by APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje. The NEC meeting, the first since Tinubu's assumption of office in May 2023, comes the day after the National Caucus meeting of the party at the presidential villa also in Abuja.
Your Excellencies, in fulfillment of our promise of taking the party to the grassroots, the National Working Committee introduced a new people-centered approach to campaign administration. Instead of the usual practice of inaugurating national campaign governorship councils for states in Abuja. The campaign councils are inaugurated in the affected states to allow for more and greater participation by party members and other stakeholders in their respective states. Your Excellency, we have also embarked on massive reconciliation of agreed party members, and this move is gradually yielding desired positive results for the party. Through dialogue, we have initiated high-level discussions among party leaders and other stakeholders with a view to resolve lingering differences between our members.
Accept it as a challenge to do more work, to rigorously pursue our sovereignty in food security, investment, and development. I am grateful to all Nigerians for the electoral successes that we have from one state to the other. I've listened carefully to many of your remarks, and I'm going to put additional effort, working harder.
While the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, on Wednesday said he inherited 8.9 billion naira debt from his predecessor when he took over office. The former Kano State Governor disclosed this in Abuja while speaking at the National Executive Committee meeting of the APC. He noted that the expenses were incurred during pre-election legal battles, election cases, and appeals for legislative, governorship, and presidential elections. However, he noted that Abdul Karim Kana, the national legal advisor, has been working to reduce the debt burden. On August 3, 2023, the APC's NEC elected Ganduje as the party's national chairman. The party's NEC also elected former Senate spokesman Ajibola Bashir from Osun State as national secretary. Now to security, the police has confirmed the kidnapping of female students from the Joseph Sawan Tarka Federal University, Makurdi, commonly known as Federal University of Agriculture. Police Public Relations Officer, Benue State Command, CSP Sawese Anene, confirms the incident, noting that investigation and rescue efforts had begun. According to reports, four female students were allegedly abducted by gunmen yet to be identified. Meanwhile, the news of their kidnap immediately sparked wild protests from the students who marched round the school with 3 branches in their hands, demanding immediate action from the school authorities. 2 police officers had been killed, while 4 suspected kidnappers were arrested following a confrontation between police and kidnappers in Plateau State. Spokesman for the Plateau State Police Command, DSP Alabo Alfred, confirmed the development in a statement on Wednesday. According to Alfred, the incident occurred along Little Rayfield Road in Jos, where the kidnappers had attempted to abduct the victims. He identified the deceased officers as Fatoyo Femi and Inspector Dafar Dashit, who were part of a special team deployed from Abuja to assist in combating kidnapping in the state. The Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command, CP Emmanuel Olubemiga Adesina, also urged residents to remain calm, assuring them that the situation was under control. The police command in Kano says it has arrested 17 suspected thugs over a planned protest at Nasarawa Palace, residents of Aminu Ado Bayero, the deposed Emir of Kano. In May 2024, a high court in Kano reinstated Bayero from parading himself as the Emir of Kano following the restatement of Muhammad Sanusi II. On Wednesday, spokesperson for the Kano State Police Command, Haruna Kiyawa, said officers had been deployed to key locations in the city to prevent unrest and maintain public order. The arrest came amid a heightened security presence at the entrance to Bayeru's residence. The police spokesperson said adequate security measures have been put in place to prevent any potential breakdown of law and order in the state. Staying with security, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the deployment of the intelligence response team to rescue the abducted Emefiele'S youth leader, Eniola Ojajuni. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the force spokesperson, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, cautioned against social media speculation and the spread of unverified information regarding the ongoing rescue operation. He warned that such actions could jeopardize efforts and endanger the Emefiele'S youth leader. Adejobi also highlighted recent police operations against organized crime across the country. Elsewhere, former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, says the seat arrangement rule between Senators Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Godwin Emefiele should not be reduced to a gender affair. Shaibu, in an interview on Wednesday, said seats and offices of federal lawmakers are privileges and not rights. According to him, seats and offices must be lobbied for by federal lawmakers. The former deputy governor once occupied the Etsako Federal Constituency House of Representatives seat at the National Assembly from June 2015 to March 2016. Before then, he spent 8 years at the Edo State House of Assembly as a lawmaker. Shaibu noted that it is the prerogative of the leadership of the House to allocate office and to allocate seats in the House. On February 20, Akpoti-Uduaghan, who represents Kogi Central Senatorial District, rejected her assigned seat in the Red Chamber and challenged the Senate President's order. The female senator accused the Senate President of harassment and slammed a 100 billion naira alleged defamation suit against him, while the Akpabio-led Upper Legislative Chamber has referred her to the Senate's Disciplinary Committee. You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, NAFDAC asks National Assembly to expedite action on amendment of NAFDAC Act and counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods C-34 Act to include life sentence and death penalty and the penalties for such crimes. We'll bring you more on this when we return. You're welcome back. This is still News at 7 on Western Spring Television. A reminder of our headlines. The Special Offences Court in Lagos has refused to stop hearing the corruption allegations made against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Leaders of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, converged at the National Secretariat of the party for its National Executive Committee meeting in the nation's capital, Abuja. The police has confirmed the kidnapping of female students from the Joseph Sawan Taraka Federal University, Makurdi, formerly known as Federal University of Agriculture. On the foreign scene, the United States and Ukraine have reached a preliminary agreement on a significant economic partnership involving Ukraine's vast mineral resources. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has called on the National Assembly to expedite action on the amendment of NAFDAC Act and counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods C-34 Act to include life sentence and death penalty in the penalties for such crimes. Addressing State House correspondents at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on Wednesday, the Director General, Mojisola Adeyeye, said the call had become imperative because many Nigerians are dying on a daily basis due to the consumption of fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods. Speaking specifically on the ongoing enforcement operation in the open drug markets of Ariaria and Ezioko markets in Aba, Bridgehead Market, Onitsha, and Idumota drug markets in Lagos, the DG said 87 truckloads of banned, expired, unregistered, falsified, and substandard medical products have been so far removed from over 7,000 shops screened industry markets. She also noted that the quantity of tramadol, narcotics, and controlled substances seized from each of these locations was enough to destabilize the country security-wise, alleging that it had been contributing to the prevailing insecurity in the country. Adeyeye, who hinted that the Onitsha Bridge Hard Market will be open next week once the ongoing enforcement operation is completed, and NAFDAC terms, noted that the opening would be a temporary measure until the designated coordinated wholesome centers are ready. She said the centers would be built in the 6 geopolitical zones to cater for drugs in the zones. On the foreign scene, the United States and Ukraine have reached a preliminary agreement on a significant economic partnership involving Ukraine's vast mineral resources. This development comes as both nations seek to strengthen ties and ongoing geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe. According to senior Ukrainian officials, the framework entails joint development and ownership of Ukraine's mineral wealth, with profits shared between the two countries. This report has the details.